we see that that is a pile of bones. We see that it's in a landscape, that there is plants. But what are we not seeing directly reflected in this image? And designers who can master this sort of thought process are able to look at life around them differently and sort of assess the world differently, see better, see more deeply, more intently. And whether that is in terms of adding detail to a sculpture or breaking down what's here for to its simplest forms for visual inspiration is the goal. Um, this image, for in fact, let's do this. We're going to go up here to image adjustments, and you guys can try this at home with the photographs that you take for this portion of the course. You can go to exposure, and let's bring the exposure up quite a bit. And immediately you start to see contrast. But what do you see? What do you begin to see that, I guess the better way to put this is what's being eliminated and where is your focus turning to? Well, it's focusing now on these dark spots. Right? It's focusing away from the interior of these objects, the distractions of the interior details, and it's giving you the opportunity to view these darker graphic shapes without the distraction of those details. Right? We want to look at these images and break them down to their simplest principles, their simplest format. In terms of these images, it's their graphic quality. And when you hear artists talk about blurring their eyes, squinting, trying to see something in the image, essentially that's one of the things that designers do. They're looking for a graphic quality in the image, not necessarily the details. Right? They're developing the simplicity or revealing that simplicity in an image, and then working from there to develop its complexity. And they may take those graphic qualities now that you see and push them in a totally different direction. And that's the thing that I want you to start to understand as we develop about creative reasoning. Start to understand about creative reasoning as we develop into our character. So we're exposing the dark shapes here when we pop the exposure up. Let's put this back to 0. Image adjustments, let's go back to exposure and gamma correction. So now we're going to drop the white out, and we're going to start to bring up, or pardon me, drop the black out, and we're going to start to bring up the white shapes. And this is what I saw when I looked at the piece. I have this huge crest type shape up here, which I really, really like. I have this hole in the head that still is there, but this white shield at the top of the head, that is very cool. These tusk-like shapes, which are the back of the jaw of the elephant, become protrusions out of the front of this face, and you can see what was an interior nose structure, a nasal cavity here, has become an indentation in the face, and you have this very cool tooth line on either side. You have the indentations in this area that may become an eye. You have suddenly an alien form in front of you that you can build off of. So let's just review quickly what really are the fundamentals of creative reasoning. As we illustrated with the skull, a lot of what creative reasoning is that ability to reinterpret information that you're seeing in an interesting way. And one of those tools that we talked about was that adjustment and contrast. So you can take any image that you photograph for this course, any unusual landscape, objects around the house, adjust it, reveal new forms, new shapes, new objects, and you're really breaking that image down into smaller and smaller bits of information that are more easily digested and stored. So you're breaking down those objects into principles that can be reapplied and give you a true new starting point from any reference image that you look at. So again, it's not necessarily, for example, that you're looking at an ape and you're going to do an ape-like creature. It's that there are shapes and forms revealed in the examination of that reference that lead you in an interesting direction. So like with this example where we're actually drawing new forms out of this illustration, you can find new directions by taking taking that image apart and starting fresh with something smaller. And here we discover really quickly in the overall silhouette that there's a profile there that is that can lead us in an interesting direction. This sort of bird-like, animalistic side bipedal profile. And I get a little carried away here at the end, adding some long hairs and feathering, that kind of thing. But essentially, that really is what creative reasoning is. Our ability to look at any image, reinterpret it as designers, find in it a quality, an element, a principle, a new direction in some of those smallest building blocks of the image, and then reapplying them to our new direction or design. So, for example, even in elements of anatomy, if we're looking at a new hinge style joint, we want to get creative and sort of break the formulaic movement of an elbow or wrist. We can go to mechanical forms like robot arms and other things, and really be inspired by those elements, reinterpret them, and then reapply them in a biological way. So it's very cool. Creative reasoning can help us do a lot of interesting things.